And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Oh, Edgeworth going for the petty streak now. That's my man. Hey guys, we're back for another Turnabout Tuesday, and we are beginning the first day of trial with the chief prosecutor's little sister as our assistant, instead of Maya this time. But let's go ahead and see what we're in for. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas, to put it lightly. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. Girl, stop being so frickin' resigned already. You're sounding like Edgeworth. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yeah? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is? You're not a defense attorney. Ha, yep, you're a prosecutor. You look at everything with the lens of the person is guilty and it's your job to prove it. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. They're definitely gonna need it. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. Oh. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Thanks, substitute Mia. You have not gone through my wallet as quickly as she would, nor have you committed any major crimes, so I think we're good. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. You're the one with all the baggage and strange feelings, my guy. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. Girl, get therapy. He is way too old for you. Nobody bring up age differences and consent differences in Japan. No. Too old for you. Stop it. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Yep. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar? I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. I mean, I can see it with the way it looks. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running the lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. We have lost the judge to the caviar. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Am I about to have to pay money for something? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Oh, I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some adult movies that have been made about her either before or after this trial. If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay. We got the floor plans now. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Yep, the judge is teaming up with the witness against us. Alright. Well, time to start pressing. So you always knew a day like today would come. Oh. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. I can imagine Edgeworth look in the background hearing that. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching! As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Oh, Emma watches Monty Python. Never would have picked her for the type. Of course, I could definitely see with those glasses of hers her doing a really good Killer Bunny cosplay. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Alright, let's give it a go. Alright. Always knew a day like this would come, so I guess let's press. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Edgeworth. That is the most passive-aggressive reply I think you've ever given in court. I'm proud of you, my guy. Given that they are used to raising inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. Okay, so you have definitely a personal grudge. A lunchbox to your boyfriend? Which boyfriend exactly? This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several. Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. And the ones that you pay after work, right? Or do they pay you? Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Good call, Judge. Never stick your dick in crazy. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with a security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sense something, perhaps it's my finely honed detective intuition at work. Okay. You sense something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. All of your metaphors and similes are going to be food-related, aren't they? Then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Emma, no. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Okay, I gotta see what Edgeworth says about this. By garish car, you mean... Oh, Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Well, Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Oh, she took a picture! A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Huh. Oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Okay. I'm just gonna press everything and see if I can find anything. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to your ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. Well, what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. I can't help it. It's a sense of familiarity. Okay. So I need to check over some things real quick. So we have a chipped trophy, the investigator's ID card. Let's see, entered at 512. Traces of the victim's blood, but no prints, which makes sense since she was wearing gloves. Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Wait a minute. Well, yeah, I guess that does line up. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Property Lana Skye, last call made to her sister Emma at 5:18 on the day of the murder. Parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Moment of the crime scene. Crime is photographed by Angel Starr. Well, nothing in there that could suggest that she didn't do it. But why is she wearing the victim's bloody coat? That's what I want to know. Why did she take the time? Because that is, I think that's pretty clearly his coat, you know? So why would she bother putting it on? That's the confusing part. And then to call her sister after it happened. So what's something that contradicts it? Sent something, her finely honed detective's intuition. She saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a car. Was holding a knife in her right hand. I don't really know what could be a good counterpoint. Because this is definitely a picture taken through the fence. It's not time-stamped, but it is there. That's the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Hold on. I was trying to tell if maybe there was like a slash mark here. There's definitely blood splatter on the coat. But I feel like if that was the spot where he got stabbed, wouldn't there be a hole in it or something? But I don't know if that's too nitpicky. I don't don't really know what... There's no prints on it. But in the picture, she was clearly wearing gloves, so of course there wouldn't be any fingerprints. Said that she had it in her right hand. I don't know if... I'm trying to tell if her fingers are curled or just missing on that hand. Because I don't know if we've seen her hand enough to really say. Because she's making it specific that it's her right hand. Goodness. I might have to save Scum a little bit. Alright. Okay. Oh, one sec. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Lunch to her boyfriend. And the only other thing we got out of this newest one is the floor plan. Which, yeah, if she's parked over here, then she'd have to go around to get to the security room. That proves that the car entered the lot at 5:12. So it would have, and what they're claiming is that he was stabbed and put in the car directly after that. And unfortunately, there's no timestamp on the car. I mean, on the picture. Let's see. Saw the prosecutor. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go for it. Because I don't think I have anything else to really try right now. Yeah, because there's nothing here that's saying it would be... what's this? Must be a victim's blood, and comes up killing an apple. He sends weekends roughing in the wild. No, that's really the only thing on this knife. So nothing there. You know what, I'm just gonna I think this is gonna be one of those moments where I just kinda have to randomly present evidence till I find something that sticks.
Objection!
And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But, isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. Nickelback time! This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Oh, wait, yes, okay, so I did pick it right. Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. You didn't even get a voice line for it. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea. You know what? Objection! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. I guess let's press. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before anything else. Let's see. Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? Okay, yep. So, same as before. Okay. Murderous plan, the rubber gloves prove it. So, I need to drop another save so I don't have to do all this again. Okay. So I have to prove that it wasn't premeditated.
Hold it!
Oh, dang, I didn't mean to press again.
Objection!
I'm about to hit present. Darn it, I gotta... Come on, fast track, fast track, fast track. I am spam clicking so hard. Okay. So... what can I do to prove that this wasn't premeditated? That was the memo that we found. Let's see, autopsy report. Let's see, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., cause of death, loss of blood from the chest wound. A 4.5-inch knife, single stab wound was found. We did say this was roughly around 4 inches or so. Parking lot with Edward's car. Enter her sister at the day of the murder. No. I don't think there's anything else in this picture that could disprove that because we pointed out the gloves already. And they're focusing on the blood splatter on her coat, but again, that's not her coat. I'm pretty sure that's the victim's coat. I could be wrong. I don't know if it helps her, but that's what it looks like. Okay. Don't think there's anything here. Well... No. That just shows timing. Now hour and a half before PM. Just looking for anything that could prove otherwise that I might be missing. I think I'm at the point where I need to start just randomly choosing evidence again until I find something that works. Found in the car trunk. Found at the crime scene. That's a knife. I don't think the knife would have anything to do with proving that it wasn't planned. Yeah, I'm just gonna start presenting stuff and see what sticks.
Objection!
Nope, that definitely wasn't it. See, nope. Nope. Okay. I said I'm just kind of hitting random things at this point. Maybe the knife. I don't know how, but... Oh wait, it is the knife! Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. Aha! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Oh. That's right, drop your lunch, lady. Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Oh no, he's gonna do the tisk-tisk. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. Darn it, quit reading our mind, boyfriend. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? You just gave us a reason to. Okay, now she's gonna try and prove us wrong. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Wait a minute, that last one contradicts the autopsy. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Okay, if nothing else, I definitely got something for that last one. Okay, let's just press her a little bit, see if we get any extra info. You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked, you're alright, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Her pageant strays left and right here. Now why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves.
Hold it!
You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant Miss Lana Skye's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim.
Hold it!
What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't, that's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels, don't you agree? Where the hell do the pretzels come from? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self. Mr. Edgeworth's eyes smell like citrus fruit. You are across the courtroom, girl. How can you tell that? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that. This is a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. That is true. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. She's writing it down again. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Well, I know what I'm doing this time. And present. Autopsy. One knife wound.
Objection!
I'm glad I read that earlier. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. Ugh. No thank you. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. Oh, Edgeworth ain't playing her games either. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one would ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay, so let's press this new one.
Hold it!
Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. I feel for you, Phoenix. I feel for you. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance! Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be a short-tempered. Does she look what matter? Yep. Okay, so there's gotta be something I can do here. First, another save. There we go. Okay. Is she wearing the scarf in the picture? No, she is not! Okay! Ha! This is backfiring on you so hard!
Objection!
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Oh, even Edgeworth coming for her pride now. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Oh, Edgeworth going for the petty streak now. That's my man! Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, chop liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Alright, so apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempts to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel's Star, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel's Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. Or what, you gonna cough me up? No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Most people are! The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum. Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I feel so bad. I cringe so hard doing that. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Alright, let's start pressing for information. Attempted to run behind partition up to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. Oh, that's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained to Wright sir, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Yes, because there was a fence. I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! A Coffee Queen lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Skye not get away? Yep, valid question. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Why do you keep bringing up the damn muffler? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Let's ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Okay. She tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. So wait, if she was trying to use the phone, then she wasn't trying to run earlier, she was trying to get to the phone.
Hold it!
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Okay. She definitely seems a little bit more nervous now. Let's do this last press. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent, more mysteries. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Skye tried to run. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it, you have to believe me. Oh, I do, because her testimony is full of holes. Quickly caught her. She mentioned the muffler. She tried to use the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Made it to escape. So, drop one more save. Because she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her phone instead. She's saying she saw that. But if she was over here, how could she have seen it from behind the wall there? I'm gonna try this one and see. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Yeah, lady, we get it. Innuendos. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this position. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Yes, time to make her cough it up. Order! What is the meaning of this? Simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies.
Objection!
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? That's exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Don't word it like that, Phoenix. Let me ask you a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. The security room. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security guard room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she would have seen the crime in the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better? Have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Alright, recap time. The Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Well, it would change the angle of view to the crime because then she wouldn't have been able to see the guy getting stabbed. Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change? The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Nah, darn it. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Dang it. Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Okay. Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. That should be block. What would change? Well, the distance to the crime would be the other one. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plan and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. So you ran all the way around and then over the fence? That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? You run that fast in them heels, girl? Damn. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Okay, I gotta save real quick because I am getting beat right and left on this one. Let's try an objection.
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Really quickly to add that on there, Judge. You got something you want to talk about? But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yuck. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. Yeah, it really was. I'm afraid that the cough of Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hooray, we've got more time. Oh, she raised it. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's what she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchline motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Oh boy, what's she got up those big poofy sleeves now? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. I'm getting really tired of this lady and her lunchboxes. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. How many boyfriends do you have, woman? Seriously, is your cooking and your body that good? Jeez. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, she played him. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. I guess, let's see what we can get out of her. Let's see. No, let's just start pressing. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. Let's see, victim's shoe. No, you did not bring it up. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. He's calling her a bitch. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found in the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department? Sorry, I had to adjust my seat a little bit. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. The other blood type matched that of defendant Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belongs to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just 1 person. So I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skye's. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. She proves that it's flawless, decisive evidence. Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Yeah, they're getting worse. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Oh, let's save. There we go. Let me check that picture again. You know what? Yeah, I do have a problem. Her shoes are black in this picture, not enamel white. So yeah, I do have a problem. if I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Shows the problem with this evidence. Let's see. Well, I mean, realistically, it's the color.
Take that!
The problem with this evidence is here. Where? Take that finger and point at your own head, Mr. Wright. What? I guess that wasn't it. Mr. Wright, let's be scientific about this. Examine the evidence. As I thought, a waste of time. Well, that was a nice break. Let's return to the testimony, shall we? No, but I know there's a problem. Let's see. Well, it's not decisive evidence because it doesn't match what's in the picture. Because for starters, the shoes in the picture have a little bit of a thicker heel, and again, they're black, not white, and this is like a kitten heel. Let's try it. Unfortunately for you, this shoe is far from being perfect evidence. What? This shoe directly contradicts what we know about the crime. The shoe doesn't fit. Order! Order!
Objection!
You are claiming there's a contradiction with this shoe. As I said, the shoe doesn't fit what we know about the scene of the crime. Very well, let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say about the shoe. What about this shoe contradicts what we know about the crime? Shows the problem with this evidence. Well, for starters, again, how do I show that it's the that it's the color?
Take that!
Where am I supposed to point on this thing? Because I've got the right idea, but... where am I supposed to... Because it's very clearly that it's the heel and the color. And I'm supposed to point at the blood stain because there's no blood splatter in the picture.
Objection!
Okay, let's fast track to this part.
Objection!
Okay. I guess the blood splatter?
Take that!
The problem with this evidence is here. Alright, let's load it back. Seriously, what am I missing? Seriously, there's gotta be, like, what am I supposed to be selecting here? It's very clearly a different shoe in the picture. Let's see. Don't know what I'm supposed to be clicking on here.
Take that!
Oh, okay, it was the bottom? I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. What'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe? Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be a contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? Maybe the picture here?
Take that!
problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. We're also gonna just ignore the fact that it's a completely different shoe from what's in the picture. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Very true. Very, very true. Order! 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 Well, witness? What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Up. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hit to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. You guys made me say it twice. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Well, water? What does that... oh, they're gonna say that wash away the crime scene. Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Whack! That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecutor's side. She could have been lying about the water. The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Oh. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing bloody footprints. Well... I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cop-up queen. Look at this. That looks more like the victim's shoe. Oh, did she say it was a victim's shoe already and I just missed it? A photograph? Just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe did belong to the victim. Oh, I was being stupid with that part. I thought she said it was the defendant's shoe. Whoops. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right? Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Up! Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Up! Get him, Phoenix, get him! Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. Well, for starters, what is it that he's parked on? Let's see, you got the one stab wound to the chest, him missing his shoe. There's also something stuffed in the tailpipe here, which I'm kind of concerned about. What is that? The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's the muffler! Ha! Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or a scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Yep, muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital to evidence. Oh! Decisive blow. Well, it seems you will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. We leave any question unanswered, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew, that was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry after 2 lunchboxes. Well, she did also give him a triple-decker afterwards. Well, that was intense. We nearly lost. And this is why you save repeatedly in this game. Well, we'll have to take on the next part of the trial next week. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
Aw, game over already? Don't worry, there's always more fun to be had later. If you enjoyed your stay, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for visiting Arya's Arcade. Bye-bye!